Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning into your relationship read. For the main read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. And for the supportive oracle cards, the Magical Unicorn Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, PhD. We're going to do the first half relationship and the second half singles. Okay. Okay, let's see, because my first impression of the cards is they're very spread out. It makes me feel like this is kind of drawn out. It seems like this is going longer than expected. Whatever the situation is, it's going longer than expected. Which kind of is saying what's holding the situation where it is. It seems to be drawn out. You got the Knight of Pentacles on your partner's side, which that seems to be a drawing out energy. It's progression, but slow progression, typically. Now, whatever the situation is, it seems like the two of you might not be on the same page, or are you on the same page? That's the good question. Because your partner's considering letting something go, moving on from some project. Something, they're trying to let go of something. They're considering moving on from some project. They have it here with the Eight of Cups, and they have it here with the Seven of Swords, which is looking to move on, trying to recoup what's left over, a situation gone bad, and just trying to like scrounge and make do of what you can. You're optimistic though. You're thinking things can work out. You're not ready to give up. Whatever this now, the situation being what it is, it's either a project, it could be your actual relationship. If it is about your relationship, I don't see it moving on, but if it's your relationship, this is something that you're thinking of already. Like, this isn't like new news to you. So if you're thinking it might be your partner's thinking about giving up on the relationship, before you started this reading, you had that thought in your head. If that wasn't in your thought, then that's not matching for this situation, because this is showing the Death card on your side for your thoughts, for where you're standing. So whatever the situation is that your partner is thinking about moving on, even though you're very optimistic, you're thinking the worst is over. The situation has been being completed. This is weird, because it feels like you're optimistic about it moving on. I'm thinking it's a project, because this is where you're standing. I feel like you're happy that it's moving on, because it seems to be taking your partner away from you, and it seems to be just dragging on forever. You're just rather it end than to drag it on even further. Okay. But even though it seems to be dragging on for a while, you are persevering through your part of it. You're keeping your side going. You're doing well. What are we talking about here with these two? I'm getting kind of, you're optimistic, you're persevering, but you're letting your partner set the tone. You're letting your partner say what they want to do or don't want to do. If they want to give up, fine, then we can let's move on from that and go in a different direction. If they want to continue, fine, let's do that. You know, I feel like you're a supportive player in this situation. Very good, very good. Now, even though your partner's considering moving on from whatever the situation is, they are seeming to be, they got the King of Swords here. They're really thinking it out first. I don't feel like it's moving on that fast. I still feel like they're sitting on it, thinking about it. And you're left just, I feel like this is just you waiting. You're still, I feel like you're on the waiting side. You're very supportive, very waiting. Spiritually, you have the Nine of Pentacles. In this situation, makes me feel like more waiting. just looking at the person on that card makes me feel like you're waiting. Feels like you're constantly waiting. Waiting. And they're constantly, your partner's constantly mulling it over. Page of Pentacles. Still considering it, still thinking it out. Doesn't want to give it up, but doesn't know if there's enough here to continue on with the same situation. What makes things better is the Page becoming the Queen of Pentacles. Emotionally investing in this situation and looking at it in the long haul. With the Page, that's somebody holding on and wondering where it's going to go. They seem to be waiting on some other factor to make the decision on what to do. I want to call her the Mother of Pentacles, but it's actually the Queen of Pentacles. The reason I want to call it the Mother, if you can see the picture on there, she's holding that coin like a baby. And why this helps is because I feel like your partner is deciding to look at this like a newborn. Like when you have a newborn, you're going to be taking care of this newborn child for years. And then when it can finally flourish and move on its own, that's great. But even after that, you're still involved. You still plan to be involved in your child's life beyond that point. This is saying this is your partner committing to this idea. Whatever's going forward, they're committing to it. And they're seeing the long haul, and they're sinking in, and they're creating deep roots to move forward. They're creating roots that they plan to grow farther and to go farther and farther with this situation. So they are committing to it. They were considering moving on. They are not. They're committing to it and going farther into the future. Now, this is music to your ears. Like, that literally looks like music to your ears. That's making you happy. This is what helps. You're ready. You're just, I feel like you're very supportive, and like you're letting your partner decide where to go with this. And it's, when they make that decision, it seems like it goes from this part where you're looking at the Nine of Cups like there's a lot to have here. You're looking at the situation like there's a lot to be thankful for and a lot to go forward with. I feel like your partner's sort of looking at it the same way, but they're just not sure if it's smoke and mirrors or it's actual reality. But you're seeing it as reality. When your partner makes that decision, it seems like it goes from this part where you're looking at all these possibilities that you're very much interested in finding out, and the possibilities become reality. That's where I feel like, I know these cards maybe don't usually come across that way, but that's how I'm getting them. Because of the way this person seems to be looking down on those cups, like they want to be a part of that, and then the smoke there, which is supposed to be kind of a genie reference. I'm not getting that for this situation. I get it for your partners if they're looking at it like maybe it's just smoke and mirrors and there's not enough reality to make it happen. But when they commit to it, I feel like that's when it's like set right in front of you, like here's all the reality of it. And it's almost like you see the fog at the bottom. It's like the fog is clearing, even though there's some fog behind it too, but they're definitely seeing the possibility here and they're going forward with it. So I feel like this whole part of the read, it honestly feels like to me, you're waiting for your partner to make a decision. And it seems like you're giving all the power to them. But I feel like the reason you're doing that, because you're like, you know what? I feel like you're in. I feel like you're already in. And the reason you're giving them the ability to make the decision yes or no is because even though you're all in, if they don't do it on their own free will, if they don't choose to go forward, you're not seeing this becoming a success. So you're letting them choose, you're giving them time to breathe, you're giving them time to think it over. And because I feel like you're viewing it like, if you make the decision to be a part of this, this will succeed. And that's how you seem to be feeling about it. If you seem to push them or trying to get them to do what you want, it doesn't seem like it's as stable or has that much of a chance. You want them to be truly invested and want to go forward. Because if they're truly invested and want to go forward, you're seeing the long-term success, and that seems to be the reason why. And they do choose to go forward with it. And I feel like this is the start of a long process, something they see going out for a long time. It might be like a house thing or something like that. Something that they're putting roots here, deep roots, and they see this is just the start for a very long, prosperous situation. So they're very careful about getting involved, and they think about it. Once they commit to it, though, it's just, you have all these possibilities coming to life. I feel like that's probably the whole thing you're looking for. If this is resonating with you, you're like, are they going to ever make a choice, or we're just going to live in limbo for the rest of our lives? I do see them making a choice. And even then, I do want to say, it is Pentacles. So even though it's deep roots, it's slow going, but it's like every block that's placed is very securely, safely placed, and it's not going to move. Every block is another, you know what I mean? They're very, very meticulous, and there's a lot of strength behind every move they make. And I feel like you're okay with that. I feel like you're probably aware of that if this is resonating with you. Okay. So that's it for the relationship with Sagittarius. We didn't have any oracle cards. I was expecting them in the beginning, but I just realized I never touched them, so I guess we shouldn't touch them. Let's do Sagittarius singles and see what we got for Sagittarius singles. Sagittarius single. Now I'm noticing the cards are kind of being a little... I don't really want to shuffle. Let's try another time. That seems to be getting better. I'm not wanting to shuffle them a lot. Okay. So what do we got going on for Sagittarius singles? You got the King of Cups at the bottom. You have the Ace of Cups as your... Well, King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Ace of Cups at the bottom of your reading, which means that's the foundation. So there's love going on here, in some respect. This is definitely Sagittarius singles, but somebody seems to be... You seem to be kind of tied to somebody emotionally. So I'm wondering if you're pining or if there's somebody that you've been seeing off and on. Because I feel like you've been waiting as well. Alright, now we're going to start here. So we got the King of Swords. So I feel like there's a good amount of communication between you and this person. You might be more of the initiator and more the person trying to get things going here. Definitely still single, but trying to get something going with someone. Okay. I'm getting that as like dominant energy, like you're actively pursuing someone. Okay. Now, you're standing in the spot of hope. Star card, a lot of times I just say hope instead of just blurting out to the star. But you're seeing something here, you're seeing possibilities here, you're thinking this person is going to go your way. You're also, your mind is in the temperance with remain positive. You're expecting this to take a while. You see this person as a slow mover, which is ironic. Seeming how the couples part of this read dealt with a slow mover as well. It seems like you're dealing with somebody as a single person, whoever you are, and you're thinking, you know, this is going to take a while. So it seems like that same energy is pulling through here. This is somebody you've had your eye on for a while. You've been thinking about this person for a while. And you've been pursuing them for a while, but you're still single because you're not with them yet. The love, you're feeling the love. You're feeling very much in love. The other person, though, I'm noticing what might be holding things back is the Ten of Wands. They seem to be just coping through life right now and dealing with life, and maybe they're not feeling like they have enough time or resources to actually give to a relationship right now. So they're feeling like they don't have the ability to really commit or be around for somebody like that. So they seem to be abstaining partially for that reason. I'm getting partially. I'm wondering if this is more also like they might feel a little bit burdened, like burned in the past a couple times. And they're just not really sure if they were ready to do that yet. Like they're making, like they feel like if they get involved in a relationship right now, they might leave themselves vulnerable, and they're not really sure if they're ready for that yet. So that might be another avenue for that. Which has nothing to do with you, has more to do with them and what they've experienced in life. Okay, now, in the center you have the Hierophant, and you have the Two of Wands. The Hierophant in this deck, if you haven't seen it so far, it's very reminiscent of the Devil card to me, especially with the whip in the present there, and then you got the two figures down there, the one with the devil tail and the green lady, which kind of makes me look like, you know, when she's green, it makes me feel like they're giving her like a witch feel, especially with the moon behind her back, which to me is not a bad thing. But I feel like it's people who might be kind of subjective to the majority rule. And I feel like that might be saying something about your situation where you're waiting for the other person to kind of move forward. They don't seem to be moving forward. If you push too much, you kind of get smacked. If you don't push enough, you're going to miss out on an opportunity. So you're kind of in this very balanced spot where you're having a hard time maneuvering. It kind of feels like deja vu to me for some reason. But you're also feeling very tied and bound to them. You want this to happen, and you don't want to move on from it. You're waiting for the information to come towards you. I feel like I've done this reading before. It's weird. You're waiting for the information to come towards you, and it seems like you're kind of stuck. Your feelings are very, very strong here. You do not want to move on, but you don't want to cause... You know you can't move too fast. This is very, very deja vu for me. I don't know. It feels like months ago I've done a similar reading the same way. I'm thinking it was for Sagittarius, but maybe I'm wrong. Makes me wonder if for some of you this is a replay. Now, you have the King of Pentacles, very slow mover, very methodical, on his own terms, in his own time. Ten of Wands. Like, if he's not feeling it's time, then don't get caught up in the gender, he, she, whatever. If this person's not feeling it's time, you're not going to get them to budge. And I feel like you're very well aware of that. The be assertive seems to be more connected with this person. Like, they're not going to move forward if they don't want to. But you seem more than willing to wait, and you got that Pentacle energy too, where you're going to hold on as long as you have to. It seems like, I feel like you're very dedicated, and I feel like you're putting forth this information. What else do you got behind you here? Because I just picked up a bunch of them. You've got King of Cups. You have the Ace of Pentacles. You have this card, which is the Five of Swords, and then you have the final card, Three of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Swords and the Pentacles, to me, it's like defending what you want and working through it, learning what you need to do to succeed, not giving up. I just don't feel you giving up. I just feel like even though you're single and this person seems to be dragging their feet, you got a lot of love here. You got the King of Cups, and you got the Ace of Pentacles. Like, if you're like, even if it's a slow movement forward, you know, if I can get some movement forward, happy with that. So I feel like you're moving forward with this person slowly. But I feel like you're the one communicating. You're the one keeping them interested. You're the one making sure that they don't, give up on the situation. And I feel like the way you're taking this and the way you're moving forward, it seems to keep going in your direction. I feel like at the end of this, you have some small win. Now, what would the small win be is the question. Because I feel like you got the Three of Cups. You're involved with this person socially somehow. And you have this person committed to something socially. Now, I don't know if it's like some type of group. If it's like maybe a movie night. I feel like for some of you, because this person seems like they're very, very big on like, oh, I only have so much time. Maybe it's like movie night every other week. Maybe you're making plans in the future, something like that, but you have made some type of headway with this person, and you are having some good time socially with them. I feel like for some of you, it's like every other week, it's kind of like a date night. I feel like you have them committed to something, or it's like, almost like if some bars have like karaoke night, or trivia night, things like that. Something that you can look forward to every week, you can have them involved with, where you're like, it's just fun, we can just hang out. I feel like you have some type of small win like that with this person. That seems to be where this ends, because you get this small victory, but you are moving it in your direction. You're moving them in your direction, I should say. Now, with the King of Pentacles, keep in mind, he's a slow mover, but when he starts moving in a direction, he keeps moving in that direction. As long as you get things progressing and keep them progressing at a short, even though it's a short pace, a slow pace, should I say, it's still a pace, and it's going to keep building. As long as you're okay with it, you'll be fine. But it does look like it's going in your favor. It's just going to take a long while to get it to where you really want it to be. But every step you get, every win you have, you build from that one. Like once you get this first step, that's yours. You're secure there. Then you build the next step. And then you build the next step. Like you're building this. That's what this is going to take if you want this. I feel like that's what you need to know. That this is going to take a step-by-step, slow movement. As long as you're okay with that, you'll be fine. Okay, I think we're good here. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.